Hello everyone and welcome to the NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar room. My name is Juanita Archuleta and I work here in the NinjaTrader Denver office. We have a very special event for you today with Tony Peterson of the Intentional Trader. I would like to mention it is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts and Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the following link for a full copy of the CFTC risk disclosure or if you have any additional questions. Also, please remember that these webinars are not a solicitation but simply educational in nature. This presentation is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Any brokerage related questions should be sent directly to the NinjaTrader brokerage team using the following email address, or you're welcome to give them a call. With new tools added nearly every day, NinjaTrader Ecosystem is home to hundreds of apps and services. You can quickly and easily find tools with a simple keyword search. You'll also find information about upcoming events and an on-demand archive of previous events. Also, if you are on social media, we do ask that you follow us on Twitter and Facebook to find all things live about the NinjaTrader ecosystem. Just going to place those links in the room for you guys. NinjaTrader is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. To ensure you are on the latest version of NinjaTrader and to pick up a free live data trial, please use the following link. You can lease or purchase NinjaTrader using the following link. And if you are just getting started with NinjaTrader, we offer free live training on a daily basis. You can view a schedule of our weekly webinars using the following link. We are very excited for this unique event in which Tony will provide a compelling argument that when it comes to trading, less can definitely be more and small can definitely be big. Thank you again for your attendance today, and without any, it is my pleasure to welcome Tony to the NinjaTrader room. Go ahead and take it away, Tony.
Well, thank you, Juanita. Appreciate it. Everybody can hear me okay? Can I get a wide, make sure my mic is okay? All good? Excellent. All right. Well, I want to thank Juanita and everybody at NinjaTrader for putting on this event, letting us share some information with you guys, particularly those of you that are looking for some trading education. We do have lots of applications for NinjaTrader, and I'll be talking about that a little bit, but I want to get started by doing some NinjaTrader or some education before we get into the specifics on what we do on the NinjaTrader platform. We've got pretty much the same disclosure statement as what Juanita was saying at the beginning. Basically, don't trade with real money unless you're willing to lose that money, and you probably are going to lose that money, and that don't believe everything you see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started now. Today, I want to talk about that there's a very distinct difference, and I didn't notice this. I didn't know about this difference until I had identified myself as someone who was approaching trading the same way I approached any hobby that I might be undertaking, rather than my profession. Okay? I was constantly struggling at trading, and I asked myself one day, what in the world is it about trading that makes it so much more difficult than anything else I had ever been successful at? So I was a contractor, a small residential remodeling contractor, and I did really well at that. I owned a couple of hot tub stores, did really well at that. Well, I realized one day that I didn't approach trading the same way I approached my business. I was actually doing it the same way I would approach a hobby. So we're going to talk about that today. And I want you to think about this. How do you think you approach trading? Do you approach it the way a professional trader might be approaching it, or are you approaching it the way a hobbyist might go about, performing their hobby? A little bit about me. For over 7 years, I was a trading hobbyist. I struggled a lot. I did manage to turn things around and have been trading for 10 plus years now, full time. I kind of redefined my entire approach to trading, and I've been able to teach that approach to other people and help them turn their trading around. Subsequently developed a trading system, trading indicators, and my favorite part of trading is the trading education, because I realized what was missing out there when I was looking for help. And so I do have kind of some an empathy for those of you that are struggling. Just a quick note. I've got Connor here with me. He's my my right-hand man, and he is going to be answering any questions that you might have in the chat. I do not read the chat. If I do, I'm going to get sidetracked, and I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to stay on course here. I will take some questions at the end if we have any time. So if you have questions for me, just hold them to the end. If you think it's something that it's fine if Connor answers your question, feel free to go ahead and type it in, okay? All right, so a lot of us get into trading and we start seeing all this really cool stuff that is available for trading. Things that you look at and kind of hopefully tells you a story. And eventually, a lot of us find all of this stuff, all of this information, all of these numbers, all of these algorithms. We find this fascinating, that there is so much out there to help us to be successful traders. So this was basically a picture of me when I was attempting to be a successful trader. I saw all of this stuff, and each individual thing I saw value in. I saw that it was really cool, and so I had to have it. At one point in my trading, I had 12 monitors just to allow me to potentially take one winning trade. That's all I was trying to do, is take a winning trade. So I kept getting more and more and more stuff. So the conventional wisdom that you read out there when you go out into the trading education world, you go on the YouTube and forums and all that, the conventional wisdom says that you need more data, and with more data, that gives you more usable information. That information, if you use it, becomes more knowledge. This gives you the ability to influence the markets and ultimately mastery of the markets, okay? So this is the conventional wisdom. So why do we feel that this is a good way of going about? I mean, I think a lot of you might agree that this is a good way of going about it. You know, to do this, we start reading books. You know, we start watching webinars and YouTube videos, and maybe we have a video training series that we sit down and we watch. A lot of us are on trading forums. We like to spend a lot of time reading what all of these very smart people on trading forums like to put in. That obviously these people that post in trading forums seem to be very successful, so we spend a lot of time there. Like to go and download free indicators and put them on charts just to see what they do. Just more and more and more and more stuff, okay? Seems to be what we traders tend to collect, because you think the more information, the more power you have, okay? The more knowledge you have. Knowledge is a great thing, okay? So if you think about it, you know, if you're really interested in all of this, you think of having more data as it's very interesting, and more information can be fascinating, and then more knowledge can be motivating, and then the ability to influence, you're now becoming empowered, and then you finally hit the nirvana of mastery, okay? This is all of the stuff that keeps a lot of us in trading. We get excited about all of this. It makes us want to come back from day to day because it is fascinating. And if this sounds like you, I got news for you. you're a hobbyist, because there's something missing here. I'm going to put up here on the left, you see the hobbyist model, okay? Let's look at something now a little bit different. The only source of knowledge, real knowledge, is experience. We can't do all of that without experience. You can't just collect information. You can't just collect data. You've got to add that. You've got to add to that. You've got to have experience. You gather information. Now you add experience. That's going to become knowledge. You take knowledge. You add experience. That's going to become the power to influence. Again, add more experience. Add practice, the ability to practice, the ability to execute, and now you've gotten mastery, okay? So again, here's all the stuff that makes it fun. Here's all the fun parts of trading, all right? Here's the parts we don't care for so much. Why? The experience. Why? Time. Going to take time. Going to take hard work. Late hours. Seems very slow. Seems like, oh man, there's got to be a better way, because this trading thing is supposed to be easy. We need to develop skills, execution skills. This takes time. All right, so we have these unrealistic expectations based on these conventional wisdoms. This is what most of us are trying to do. We're either collecting more data or information and turning that into mastery. That's typical for most of us in trading. We're attempting to shortcut the hard work. We're attempting to shortcut the practice, the late nights, the putting off family events to work on your trading, to do the things it takes to become a professional at anything. Okay, you want to be a professional trader, you've got to do the same work. You've got to be committed to doing the same work that other professions put in to be professionals, okay? So if I just called you a hobbyist and you take exception to that, I don't mean it for you to, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to put you down. All I'm trying to do is to get you to understand that the way you're approaching trading may not ever turn into something that turns into a successful trading career, okay? So if you need a little bit more help, I'm not going to accuse you. I'm going to let you answer these questions yourself, okay? So is this you? Are you a hobbyist? Do you do a lot of reading and writing in trading forums? Do you watch a lot of YouTube trading videos? Do you attend a lot of webinars? Do you read books on trading and psychology and trading psychology? Do you buy or watch DVDs about trading? Do you download a lot of free indicators and try to get them to work? Here's one that we all do eventually. Are you trying to create your own trading system because you haven't been able to find one out there that works? Do you do a lot of back testing of this new trading system that you're trying to build? Do you study mostly just static charts, meaning you're looking at historical charts to try to build this new trading system of yours? Do you start and stop trading a lot? Do you jump around from system to system? Here's what I did a lot. I would jump around sometimes in the middle of a trade. I'd go, well, I entered this trade using this trading system, but I knew about this other trading system, and under these circumstances, I should do something else, so I'm going to do that. Do you spend a lot of time thinking about an auto trader? If you're new to trading, you probably haven't yet. If you've been trading for a while, you've probably already considered it. You spend a lot of time trying to filter out losing trades. Do you attempt to trade without emotion? That's, by the way, that's a complete waste of time. Do you not have the time to do the work to be a professional at something? Anything? Are you attempting to make as much money as you can as fast as you can? Do you find the markets fascinating? And do you train or work at your trading the way a weekend warrior works at maybe a sport that they like? Or is this you? You don't have time to do most of the things that the hobbyists like to do. You have a very strict set of rules. You practice regularly on a practice schedule. You study price action on active charts, not static charts. You manage your risk. You don't even worry about managing your emotions. You don't need to. Your faith is in your experience, not on what you know. You've developed a daily trading routine. Other things can't get in the way. You put other things around your daily trading routine, not the other way around. You don't work at your trading routine. And when I say trading routine, I mean your practice schedule, your trading schedule, your schedule for reviewing or editing your trade plan, trade log review, those types of things. You prioritize those things over other things. You've established trading and practice and study hours. You expect to have losing trades regularly. You expect it to happen, and it doesn't bother you. Your focus is not on money. Your focus is not on winning this trade. Your focus is on becoming a consistent trader. Okay? You see the markets as just a means to an end, not so much as not so fascinating. And you train the way a professional athlete trains. You know, professional athletes, use a football player for example, they probably only compete maybe 10% of the time they devote to their profession is actually in competition. The other 90% is preparation for that competition. Okay? So you can be a hobbyist or you can be a professional. It's your choice. If you've read this and you've identified yourself as a hobbyist and you want to stay a hobbyist, fine. That's perfectly fine. Embrace it. Have fun with it. Understand it, but adjust your expectations of ever being anything but a hobbyist. Okay? We all have hobbies because we enjoy them. You know, for some people it's gaming. And for you, this could be internet gaming, you know, and you just want to see how you do. Instead of shooting a gun or driving a car, you're trading. And just understand that that's what you're doing and that's why you're doing it, and have fun. But if you want to be a trader who eventually or finally sees some success, you're going to need to create some new habits. You're going to need to commit to doing the hard work daily, which means practicing, which means studying the right things, practicing the right things, doing trade analysis on every single trade you take. I don't care if it's sim or live. Become accountable for your trading decisions. We teach that in our Trader RX program. Become experienced. Excuse me. Which means you need to become conditioned. And you do this by what? Practice and experience. Relentlessly pursue to better your execution. That's why we preach practice, practice, practice. Create and follow a set of rules and define your personal risk tolerance level. Some of us, our risk tolerance is very conservative. Some of us are very liberal. Most of us are somewhere in between, but you need to know what that risk tolerance is. You need to set small and achievable goals. You do this to help you work your way up to a certain point, but you've got to create a foundation of being a winning trader. You cannot start trading, go in a trade room where the guy says, yes, you need to get in this trade and you need to go for 20, 30 ticks on this trade. That's not a realistic goal for a single lot or small lot trader. Most importantly, you need to become a specialist at something. You need to narrow your focus and don't try to be all things. We've all studied trading. We've all looked at all the different styles of trading that are available out there. And we want to take in, again, we're going to go back to all of this great information. Let me use this analogy. You go in a kitchen and you look in the pantry and you see all of these ingredients for making all these different things. And each ingredient has a lot of value. But you don't want to put them all into the same recipe. The best recipes have just a few ingredients to make it perfect. You can add stuff to the point where you've got nothing. Okay? This is what you need to do with your trading. You need to narrow your focus and become a specialist and work at becoming the best in the world at that thing, whatever that is. Okay, so let's just say that for those of you that you don't want to be a hobbyist, you'd rather see yourself as a professional trader. How do you do that? First thing we're going to have to do before I tell you that is I'm going to have to make the assumption that you found a trading system with a demonstrable edge, meaning you have proven it has an edge, or it has been proven that it has an edge. If you have not proven, and this is not back testing, okay, back testing doesn't work, by the way. It's really cool. It really looks cool. But I have yet to back test or see any back tests of any strategies. And I've been, 17 years now I've been doing this? I've not seen one back tested strategy that actually trades the way it back tests. Okay? So unless there's a couple of them out there, I'm sure there are, but you would think that we'd see more of them if it was possible. Now we want to believe it's possible because we really want this thing to be easy, right? So if you're trading now with real money and you don't know for a fact that you have a demonstrable edge on every time you take a trade, you know there's a better chance it's going to win than lose, you better not be trading with real money. So if you haven't found that system yet, why are you trading? I mean, really, why are you trading if you haven't identified? I mean, you've got to be able to take a sim account and grow that thing for a period of time and develop consistency before you ever trade live. People should not be losing the amount of money they're losing. We're all trying to take a shortcut. Hey, and I'm here to tell you I was the worst. I was the worst at it. Now in hindsight, I realized what I was doing. So that's why I'm trying to share that with you and save you guys maybe some pain. Here's a system that we have, has a demonstrable edge. We've been doing it for over 10 years now. This is our 10-year anniversary this year. It's a step-by-step process of qualifying trade setups. You got condition 1, great. Let's look for condition 2. You got condition 2, great. Let's look for condition 3. Condition 3, nope, not there, out. Let's wait for the next one. Or yes, it is there, great. Let's take the trade. Step-by-step qualifying. As easy as it gets. Yes, no answers. Does this condition exist? Yes, no. No gray areas. Okay? Super, super simple. You'll notice this in trading. The more complicated a trading system, the less effective it's going to be. The more simple, the more effective. Okay? So here's a very simple picture of a market structure that we see in trading all the time, every day. I showed it in the trade room earlier today. I said, look at this. This is what I talk about in webinars. This is it. This is what we're looking for. Why are we looking for this particular pattern? And you can, if you've got your charts up, go look. You'll see this type of pattern all the time. Whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend, doesn't matter. You see this all the time. We got to start paying attention to this particular pattern. Why do we want to pay attention to this? This pattern creates opportunities. Interesting thing about that, though, it doesn't create opportunities for us. But we're going to take advantage of the traders that believe it's providing them with an opportunity, okay? So this pattern creates opportunities for other traders. What do I mean? Okay, so we've got this area of a breakout. Let me get my little dot here. Can you see a dot? There it is. So we've got this area of channeling, nothing much happened, and then we've got this breakout. And then suddenly price starts, we get these up thrusting bars. These bars are a lot bigger than these previous bars. And then we get what's called a climax bar. Okay? Well, what happens here if you were short? If you decided somewhere in here that you were gonna short this trade and now it's taken off, what does a big bar like this mean? This thing took off. Price just jetted up here like a rocket. So one of two things happens. Either people panic and start bailing out, or people get excited and start cashing out, or they get stopped out. You know, the panic people get stopped out. A lot happens inside a bar like this. This is what creates opportunities, because regardless of whether panic or profit taking sets in, they're going to be dumping all of their contracts back on the market. Well, what happens? The supply overwhelms the demand and price drops. So what we're basically doing is that we're anticipating what this crowd, that bar, the people trading on that bar, is going to do immediately after a sudden and unexpected dramatic event. For example, we can all see this broken bat flying at this crowd. All of these people just prior to this were having all kinds of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and combinations of thoughts, feelings, and emotions among these people. Suddenly, something happened and all of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions went away, and now they have maybe one or two. They want to protect themselves, right? And they all do the same thing. Now, I didn't see a video of this. I have no idea, based on a video, what happened, but I know exactly what happened after this. Once the danger had passed, I only need to know one thing to have an edge, to be able to foresee the future. And that is, when the danger has passed, they're all going to put their hands down immediately after the danger has passed. And then they're all going to chuckle and have this little nervous laugh about what happened. 5 minutes from now, not a clue. 10 minutes from now, I don't know if they're even still at the stadium 10 minutes from now. But the information I have about right now and what's going to happen immediately following right now is the best information we have for making trading decisions. So we're looking for simplicity. You know how hard it is to make, I think many of you probably do, how hard it is to make a trading system that is simple but powerful. That's what we've done at Second Brain Trading. Many of you may have known it as bunt trading. We just kind of relabeled it. So what is Second Brain Trading? We trade those pullbacks from the breakout. Okay, I showed you that little breakout, and then the upthrust bar is followed by a climax bar. There's our opportunities. We're looking for strength. We're constantly measuring, looking for strengths in the market so that we can anticipate weakness. Think about like a sprinter who's sprinting as fast as he can. When he's sprinting that 100 meters, he's as strong as he's ever going to be. When he gets through that 100 meters, that's about all that he's got until he can't do that again until he rests. Okay? We're looking to identify where market manipulations are taking place, where the big boys, the big money, the smart money is manipulating the market. Because we know how other traders are going to react to that. We're looking for a very short exposure time, meaning we're in trades usually less than a minute. And I say short exposure time because the worst place you can have your money is in the trading markets. That's the worst place it could be. That's the most dangerous place that can be. There are very smart companies with very smart algorithms trying to take your money from you. And the longer you leave it in there, the more likely it is they're going to do it. We look to limit our losses. We're looking to focus on maximizing execution and trade management. So rather than trying to ride out a long trade, you know, you can get in within a 3, 4, 5 ticks range. It really doesn't matter because we're going for 20, 30 ticks. So rather than that, we're looking to maximize our execution. We work and focus really hard on execution and management of the trade. We only manage our trades by shortening our stops. Never, ever, ever do we just market out of a trade or shorten or move our stops out. Okay? We have our trade entries are, like I said, it's a step-by-step qualifying process. So we think of it as like you say, ready? So I'm watching certain conditions starting to develop. I'm watching a bar now where all of the conditions are in place. All I need to do is see where the next bar opens relative to support and resistance or relative to an indicator being on that bar when it opens. Bam, we're going to fire and enter that trade on the open of the next bar. Okay, no gray areas. We have to use 1 minute charts, really, because we need the best information that's coming in right now to understand what's going to happen right now. Okay, so we're looking for immediate reactions. And we trade futures in our trade room, and there are a lot of people that trade Forex with our system as well. Although I'm curious to see what the Forex traders are going to be thinking about these micro futures that are coming out in, I don't know, a few days. But I think it's going to take a while before there's enough liquidity there, but I don't know. Interested to see what futures people think about that. So we're looking for a very short. We have a very tight sweet spot. We've got a 5-tick target and a 7-tick stop. Now, we enter the trade looking for a 5-tick target. We also enter a trade with a 7-tick stop just to keep it from whipping us out to a bigger stop. Okay? We also manage our trade with our stop. So I could enter a trade with a 5-tick target and a 7-tick stop and still get out of a trade at break even or -1, -2. Doesn't mean I'm going to put on a trade and sit on my hands. I'm an active trader. I trade based on the current conditions of the market. And if those conditions change, I need to react to that. So I don't just sit there and wait to see if my target or my stop gets hit. Now, I know a lot of you say, oh boy, only 5 ticks. Well, we've been conditioned to believe that's a problem because of fees and such. But let me show you real quick here. On the left side, we've got $10 per tick instruments. On the right side, the $5 per tick instruments, you know, NQ and YM and stuff. So if you take a trade and you trade, remember I said do something very small and become the best in the world at it. And then keep doing that. But just add a lot to it. Add a contract. And then keep doing that. Become better and better. And then add a contract. Okay? So if you take 3 or 4 or 5 lots and you pull out the fees, I mean, is that enough money? It is for a lot of people. It's probably better than you're doing now on a regular basis. So you can make money at 5 ticks. You just kind of reframe what you're trying to do. All right, I want to show you something here real quick. This is what it looks like in real life. Okay? I'm going to set this playing. Yeah, okay, good. You can see this. All right. So notice this area here. This is what I showed you. This is this market structure I showed you. Notice the channeling that's going on here. All right. When we break out of this channel, we're looking at a hard push. So we're looking for this breakout of a channel. Notice after this breakout, notice how much longer these bars are than these bars here. Also notice they're changing colors from a black to a lighter gray. This is one of our indicators called our moan meter. This kind of is our heads up to say, look, we're breaking out of this channel and we've got a very strong momentum push. We're getting oversold, which means, okay, remember we're measuring strengths so that we can find weaknesses. Hold on a second. So we're oversold. Notice the momentum indicator getting lighter. The lighter it gets, the more imminent the exhaustion. So we've got strong momentum here. We need strength. Now, remember I said we also want to know what the big boys are doing. We want to know when a bar is being manipulated. That's our speed tick indicator. Right there is telling us that's very probable, based on the rate that the orders are coming in, that this bar is being manipulated. Now, you can't say, well, they're being manipulated. You got to say, if it's being manipulated, why, and what do we expect to happen next? Down here we have what's called our pullback alert. We're reading the type of volume. So you won't see any volume indicators on our charts, because I don't care about overall volume. I only care about a specific type of volume. This dot with a 2 here tells me that inside this bar we had a lot of selling until we hit this area down here. And then the buyers started jumping in. And they started, then we had kind of a churning action of buying and selling down here. Okay? We got a major line of support, and there's our rock star. This is the one that everybody wants now. Excuse me. At the open of this bar, remember I said I'm preparing. This is the ready, aim, fire. Here's ready. We got this speed tick and pullback alert. There's aim. This bar opened above this line of support with this rock star. That's fire. That's where I put my trade on. And we see this over and over and over again. This is a very, very typical trade setup for us. Now, I said it's simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy, meaning that it takes no effort. You have got to get good at identifying the setups, knowing what the indicators are doing, knowing why they're doing it, understanding the order flow, understanding the price action. How do you do that? You do it with practice and experience. I spent years, 7 years, looking for the fast, easy way. And come to find out, the fast, easy way is doing the work. We have a lot of options for you to do the work. We have our Fast Forward program. Teaches you the right things to work at and provides tools to do the work. Okay, we have our trade room every day from 9 a.m. till noon Eastern time. We have trading videos. We have a new peer mentoring program. We've got live support online. We've got a support desk. We have weekly group meetings, mentoring meetings. And we're going to help you do the work, or at least help you with tools and help and give you a structure to do, within, to work in to do the work. We're going to follow up on this event this Saturday. We're going to show you more of these trades. We're going to talk about the indicators. We're going to talk about the setups. We have more than one setup. We're going to go into a little bit more detail on this information. You can do this and start to transition, if you choose to, transition away from being a trading hobbyist and more towards being a trader, a professional trader that trains like a professional, okay? Work at your trading like a professional. All right, and that's this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. This link here is clickable if you want to click on this, or in the chat, Connor put a link for you also. Now, one of the most efficient ways to learn about us and to learn what we do and to see an awful lot of trades, rather than, and we're happy to have you come join us in the trade room. If you guys want to do a trial in our trade room, give us send us an email, and Connor will hook you up with a trial. If you don't have that kind of time to just hang out in a trade room, which I don't, not for just to see things that I could see on video, go to this link here. This is our Trade of the Day video series. I don't know, we try to do it more often than we actually do it because we're very busy with other things. But we have 124, 125 now Trade of the Day videos. So go to this link, or Connor put that in there for you, and you can watch all of those videos and you can see exactly what I showed you today happening live in the trade room. Okay? We record our trade room from 9 a.m. till noon every day, and we post that recording for our members. All right. We want to offer you guys some incentive to go ahead and get started with us. We've got in our store several bundles. We've got the most popular bundle called our Einstein, which is what most of our traders eventually they buy off right up front or upgrade to it. There's a lot of stuff included in this. Basically, we're just going to give you guys for this week 20% off any bundle package that we have in our store. Okay? And we want to thank you guys for coming.
I would like to give a special thank you to Tony of the Intentional Trader and Connor for joining us today for a great presentation. Everyone in attendance will receive an on-demand recording of today's event. Please keep an eye out for that email. NinjaTrader Ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor events as a value-added service for our clients. If you do find value in these events, we do hope that you will attend them on a weekly basis. We would like to remind you that the information shared today was that of the Intentional Traders and not of NinjaTraders. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we do appreciate the time you spend with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see everyone in future webinars. Happy trading from everyone here at the NinjaTrader Ecosystem.